This your boy Jason Johnson with Jits 2.0 podcast. And today we have a special guest. The guest that I've been raving about for quite some time, the last few weeks. Today we have Mr. Sheldon of Venetian Venue.
What's going on, Jits 2.0 podcast? My name is Sheldon Harris, and I'm super excited to be here. Looking forward to speaking with you regarding the Venetian Venue and everything that we have to offer.
Alright, so Sheldon, I'm going to jump right into it. A question that I have right off the top is, me knowing you and me knowing where you came from, give me some insight on what made you start that business.
Well, Jay, to be honest with you, it's a process and it's been a journey. I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, just a little background. I've always had a passion of hospitality, working with people in the service industry. So what better industry to be a part of than on a reception hall? With a reception hall, I'm able to meet different people. I'm able to help different people host different parties, weddings, graduations, etc. So for me, it was a no-brainer.
All right. Venetian Venue people, you have to get there for your next venue. Give my boy Sheldon a call. I promise you, hospitality, everything is gonna be on point. Give us a little bit more insight about it.
So the Venetian Venue is located at 6940 Martin Drive in New Orleans, Louisiana. The building is 7,000 square feet, so we're able to accommodate 200 guests or more. We offer wedding packages that include different types of linen. We also offer in-house catering. We have mobile bars. We have chandeliers. We offer different types of packages for whatever your budget is. So we're currently running a special right now. So if you book July, August, or September, we're running a special of $200 off any type of event that you want to have. Whether it be a wedding, a graduation, a birthday party, a baby shower, a bar mitzvah, a banquet, a ball, it doesn't matter. And we also have another special that if you call in and book within July, August, or September and mention Jits 2.0 podcast, we'll give you $300 off whatever event that you want to book.
Y'all heard that, you know what I'm saying? That sounds good. Just mention Jits 2.0 podcast.
And we'll give you $300 off.
$300. That's a deal. It sounds like a deal to me. I'm ready to mention Jits 2.0 podcast right now just to get it, you know? So, coming from New Orleans, and growing up in a tough environment, how did that help you invest in yourself, knowing where you came from and just putting it out there like that?
So I grew up in Hollywood Grove, just to give some background on myself. So to be honest with you, I saw a lot, I experienced a lot, but let that be a lesson to everyone that no matter what your environment is or how bleak or dire your situation is, it's important to have that village and that family of people to say, okay, let me put my arms around you, let me show you a better way. So I was blessed and fortunate enough that even though I grew up in Hollywood Grove and my situation around me wasn't always so great, I had aunts telling me, okay, Sheldon, go to school. Sheldon, don't go stand on this farm. Sheldon, go do this. I had uncles doing the same, and I had friends doing the same. So it's important to surround yourself with a lot of positive people who encourage you, who inspire you to do better. I'm no different from anybody else. If I can beat the odds and remove myself from that situation, then anybody can do it. I'm nobody special. All it took was hard work, inspiration, faith, prayer, and a group of people who was like, okay, Sheldon, I have something for you. Let me show you the path, and you just have to kick the door open and just step in it.
But coming up today in today's society, kids are dealing with a lot of peer pressure. You have to do this. You have to do this. But success comes in different packages, you know. And just to give you a little bit of insight on me. I mean, like, I didn't come up in the main streets of New Orleans, but we was right down the highway from there. And I mean, like, it was just a lot of things that were going on in my community. But sometimes you have to get out there and just tell yourself, you know what, man, I really want to be successful at whatever it is that I'm successful at. And that motivated me to start Jits 2.0 podcast. We not only have Jits 2.0 podcast, we have Jits 2.0 janitorial also, you know. And I mean, like, we growing in both industries, you know. So I mean, like, a lot of times when we would be in the barbershop show and we would have our conversations, and I would go back and think about, man, Sheldon did this, Sheldon did that, you know, and you was a real big inspiration on me, you know. And I took your hustle and put it into my hustle, and now it's my grind, you know. Right. So I mean, like, every time I see you, you're a family man. You do a lot with your kids. You never have, to me, you never have like a bad day. So I mean, like, what's the magic behind that? Because I really need that, you know.
Well, Jay, to be perfectly honest, there's no magic formula. I wish I can sit up here and tell everybody there's a magic formula. There's a button I can press. The only magic formula is just hard work. Like bottom line, like, you just have to be on that grind. You just have to be on that hustle, right? So, a few points that you made, which were great. There's a lot of pressure nowadays for kids, and I think a lot of it kind of stems from social media, right? Social media in the early 2000s, like, took off, right? So when I grew up, I'm an 80s baby, right? So there was no social media. We barely had phones, no internet. So now, kids now have access to everything. Social media, phone, computers, laptops, etc., right? So there's always this tendency to try to outdo somebody or put on some type of facade or front. So what I'm saying is, you don't even have to do all that. Like, be genuine, be authentic, find out what your passion is, what you love to do, and once you find what your passion is, what you love to do, what your lane is, stay in your lane, work hard, grind, and whatever level of success that you're trying to reach, you're going to get to it. You just have to stay consistent.
But you know, coming up, I mean, like, I always thought, like, man, you get there, you do this, you do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really didn't have to work hard at your craft. And then when I found what my craft was, I mean, like, that was like the hardest thing ever to me. Right. And I love the hustle now. I love it. I love the grind. So when it's placed in front of me and it's hard, it just lets me know that it's on the other side. It's going to be more pleasure. You know. So I mean, like, with me watching you, and to be very clear with you, you know, like, I met Sheldon through the barbershop, and me and him became brothers just from a lot of conversations through the barbershop. And, like, just talking to him, he inspired me to go from working an everyday job to owning my business. He was one of the ones that, I mean, like, y'all got to give thanks to him, because he used to be like, Jay, when you gonna quit? I'm like, man, I'm gonna quit tomorrow, you heard me? Man, I see your business growing, Jay, when you gonna quit? Right. Exactly. You know? So now, me looking at where I came from and where Sheldon is headed, I'm like, man, thank God for putting Sheldon in my life, you know?
And Jay, I appreciate the praise, and, you know, thank you so much. It was definitely a pleasure to inspire you. Like, I always not only look to advance myself, but I do look to help other people who are passionate about wanting to start a business or whatever their skill set is. So my advice to anybody listening to Jits 2.0 podcast, if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely do so, because you're missing out on a lot of valuable business knowledge, business information. So definitely hit that subscribe button. But my advice would be to whatever you're dreaming, whatever your goal is, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're aspiring to be, just get started. Like that's the biggest hurdle for a lot of people is they don't start. If you want to start an ice cream or snowball place, find a building to lease. You can even start selling from your garage. You just have to get a permit. So a lot of obstacles and different things that people tell you to make it difficult for you, it's really not that difficult. Because really, to be honest with you, to start a business is probably less than $300 just to start a business.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know that. So I encourage everyone who listens to this podcast, whatever your dream is, just get started.
Just wake up. If you just wake up one morning and say, you know what, I want to own a business. I mean, the hardest part is really over because you woke up.
Yeah.
You know? And once you wake up and say, man, I want to start that business, you have to put your plan in motion. Like, every business that I've ever started, I just woke up and just went straight to work.
You just did it.
And it was just there. I'm not saying that it was easy, but it was there. I mean, like, through the help of you, Mr. Allen, Kenny, you know, and a couple of other names that I didn't mention, man, it was like y'all was my backbone because y'all was pushing me. Man, Jay, man, get up. Man, do this. And now here we are. Jits 2.0 podcast, you know?
And Jay, to add on, like you made a great point. You woke up, you had your mind made on, I'm going to do this today. And that's all it takes. Just start. Right. You're not gonna know everything that you need to do about your business. It's always gonna be a revolving door. You're gonna learn something new every single day. So it's okay not to have everything figured out from A to Z. But if you start A and B, then a few days later you can maybe figure out C and D. So you just have to gradually keep building and just working on yourself. Like every day you wake up, think of it like, how can I be a better version of myself? What new skill can I learn today? And that just takes 10, 15 minutes a day.
And you know, one thing I learned just by growing up where I came from is that everybody don't want to be in that situation. But when you're in that situation, you don't have no one around you to tell you, hey man, you can do it. You know? And I feel like everybody in every neighborhood, whether a small kid or grown up, man, you should have to hit it at least once a week. Yeah. Maybe twice a week, man, you could do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody needs that push. You know, and I mean, like, whether you from New Orleans, whether you from Canada, whether you from Metairie, I mean, like, you have to have somebody around you that's willing to push you. Because if you don't have that push, then you're going to be stuck in that same situation as the person standing next to you.
And Jay, that's a great point. And to be honest, that's what really saved me. Because if I didn't have those people and individuals around me growing up as a youngster in Hollywood Grove, no telling where I would be right now. So that was my blessing. That was my saving grace. I was fortunate enough to have those people in my corner, have those people around me to say, Sheldon, here's a better path. Right. Sheldon, instead of taking this route home from school where the drug dealer's standing on the corner, why don't you take the long way home and walk an extra 2 blocks, just so you avoid that situation. So a lot of people necessarily don't have that, and I understand and respect that, but that still shouldn't be an excuse for you not to want more for yourself. Right. Like, I can give you all the information in the world. Jay can give you all the information in the world. There's millions of information on the World Wide Web. But if you don't want better for yourself, then none of that matters. You have to wake up with a positive attitude and want that for yourself. Because otherwise, it's not going to work.
Right. Man, big shout out to everybody in New Orleans, man. I mean, like, you getting your hustle on. I mean, whether you selling snowballs, washing cars, or etc. I mean, like, whatever you doing, man, big shout out to y'all, man, because, I mean, like, God woke y'all up and y'all got on y'all grind. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, don't just take it from me or Shell. I mean, like, just think about what you're thinking about in your head. You know, put your thoughts on paper. That's your reality right there. Because once you put it on paper, you can see it every day. And once that's on paper, then you're going to manifest it. You know? I mean, like, when I tell you, I done talk to Shell all day. Because Sheldon is an all-round hustler. He's a hustler. I mean, like, he really puts it in. You know? And, I mean, like, just me knowing you from the barbershop all the way to becoming this family guy. Like, man.
Yeah, Jay, because when I met you, I've known you about 10 years now. So, when I met you, Jay, and it shows you how good a guy is. So, at the time, 10 years back, I used to work in Baton Rouge, and I used to live in the Plaza. So, it was like a random Wednesday or Thursday, and I had some type of event, and I was just looking for a barbershop. So, I was riding down that line in Kenner, and I'm just looking around like, okay, what quick little barbershop I can go get a little quick haircut. And as fate would have it, I pulled up at Ace's barbershop, and then the rest was history. From that point on, we started having conversations, started talking about different things, businesses, and at that time I was married, no kids, and nothing like that. So I was a young Thundercat, as Jay would say. So
Right.
So now 10 years fast forward, I'm married, I have 3 kids, and 1 on the way. So it just shows you that sometimes blessings happen through random stuff or just blind faith, right? So I was just looking for a haircut that day and rolled up into a barbershop, and we've been friends for 10 years. Now I have a friend for life. So, you know, that just shows you how good God is.
Right. With the famous Alan Taylor always telling me, man, we brothers for life.
Exactly.
You know? And I take that with a whole lot of respect, you know, because of where I came from. It was always instilled in me, you know. And I started this podcast to give everybody a voice. Because if you're not giving everybody a voice, then a lot of people are holding a lot of anger in, you know. And you find that you have some real genuine people if you only hear them out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to talk, but nobody wants to listen. You know? And I mean, like, when you came in the barbershop that day, man, I just had so much going on with it. Like, you know, I mean, like, I was frustrated with my job, like, man, like crazy. And then you was like, you heard me out, you didn't say too much. The next time you came in the barbershop, it was like, it was put on your heart to just say, man, let me give it to him. You know what I'm saying? So you told me, you was like, man, Jay, man, what are they paying to put up with that kind of, you know? And I was like, okay. And I took the long ride home, and I thought about it. And from that point up, man, you just got to talking. And you talked me until starting Jits 2.0 janitorial. Then along the way, you was like, man, do the podcast. All right, let me give, you know, I've never been in front of the camera, but once I got acquainted with the cameras, I was like, all right, this might be my lane. Like,
Jay, that goes back to what we just said 10, 15 minutes ago. You started.
Yeah.
you didn't have all the answers. You didn't know how you would do in front of the camera. You didn't know what equipment you need. You didn't know nothing about it. You were like, okay, my mind is made. I'm a star.
Right.
Now, I'm a guest on your podcast. You know,
Right.
so, you know, how good is God? And, you know, I love your podcast because, like you said, you're giving a voice to someone.
Right.
You're giving people an opportunity and a platform not only to talk about their business, but to also speak about like different things and their personal life, what's on their heart, right? So I love what you're doing. You know, you're definitely giving people opportunities. So, you know, it's awesome. I love your podcast. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope it reached 5 trillion subscribers and, you know, you blow up. So y'all click that subscribe button and, you know, put Jits 2.0 podcast on the map.
Right. Man, with that being said, I mean, like, just to the people who haven't started yet, who's thinking about starting, give us a call. We would love to hear your let you voice your opinion, let you tell us about what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I'm not listening here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can help you along the way. That's what Jits 2.0 podcast is all about. You know? I mean, like, I have kids that's thinking about starting businesses. You know, Mr. J, yeah, come on, man, let me talk to you. You know, let me put your business out there. You know? If you got a personal issue and you just want to talk, man, let me be your listening ear. That's what Jits 2.0 podcast is about, just giving you your shot. You know, and a lot of people share, I kid you not, like a lot of people, you wouldn't believe how many brilliant people that I've run across that have, like $1 million worth of ideas. But they don't know where to start.
Right. They don't know where to begin. And that's perfectly understandable because to be honest with you, I was that person at one point.
Right.
So everybody is that person at some point in their life, particularly if you're trying to be an entrepreneur or start a business, right? So everybody, there's nothing to be embarrassed about, there's nothing to be ashamed about. I was that person. I didn't know who to talk to, where to go, where to get money from, didn't have no money, so I was in a situation like, okay, I'm broke, I don't know nobody, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to give up. So I was in that state of mind at some point in my life. But what helped me was a village of people who were positive, showing me that they can start a business, they can run a business, they can operate a business, prayer, and just want you, like just waking up and say, okay, I'm gonna do this today.
Right.
You just have to have that mentality that I'm not gonna be denied. I don't have all the answers, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Right. Right. And again, it's that push. It's that push. I mean, like, I didn't think I could be successful at cutting hair. And I just woke up one morning and went to barber school.
Yeah.
You know? And I had 2 guys, Tyrone Jacob, Wayne Richardson, man, those guys took me under their wings. And it was like, look, man, once you finish school, man, come out with barber shop. You know? And it wasn't because of them knowing who I was, because we grew up right up under each other, but we never hung with each other until we got to barber school. And they took me and they showed love, you know, and I'm forever grateful to them for that. Then it was other people in the neighborhood was like, man, Jay, trouble not for you.
Yeah.
You know, man, get away from this and continue on doing this. And as I grew, I started to see more success to that side. So whatever kid that's in the hood that's listening, or if you have any doubts about anything that you, don't worry about the doubt. Just wake up and do it. That's the hardest part. When you fight against your thoughts, that's your biggest enemy right there, because you're fighting against your thoughts. Erase your thoughts and just get up in the morning, write it on paper, and sit it somewhere only you can see. Don't tell your dreams or your goals to no one but that piece of paper. And I can promise you, you're going to thank us later, because you were sitting up here looking at two successful people now, you know. And I really wanted to get into a lot that Sheldon has going on, and he's a real interesting person. I can promise you that. He has multiple things, and I mean, like, it's gonna take about 3 or 4 episodes for us to really dig deep.
Would love to be back on if you have me.
Yeah, man, we really love to have you, because I mean, like, I just want to pick your brain a little bit more and just go a little in depth into where you actually started. Your first initial business. Venetian venue is a home for everybody. Everybody. I mean, like, they cater to you. I mean, like, when you thinking about a home, think about Venetian venue. I can promise you, I'm stamping it. I'm putting my name behind it.
We're gonna take care of you.
I know Sheldon. And I know his body of work. He's gonna make you feel right at home when you at his place.
So appreciate it, Jay. So you can also follow us on Facebook. We're on Facebook as well. So if you search for the Venetian Venue, we're on Facebook. We're also on Instagram as well at the Venetian Venue. So like Jay said, we pride ourselves on hospitality and professionalism. So we try to be a luxury brand ballroom that you would see on St. Charles Place without the price, right? So our packages include security, linen, ice. We have catering packages. We can offer alcohol packages. We have mobile bars. We have uplighting. We provide shaping dishes. So we provide a lot of different things with our packages. We also have relationships with different vendors who offer different services as well. But check us out. Check out the Venetian Venue. We would love to have you and host you. Please give us a call. Our phone number is 504-395-0195. Like I said, you can catch us on Facebook, the Venetian Venue, or on Instagram at the Venetian Venue. Give us a call. Like I said, we have $200 all special right now for all of July, August, and September. If you call us at 504-395-0195, mention Jits 2.0 podcast, you'll get an additional $100 off, and you'll get $300 off of any type of event that you're trying to host.
Make sure y'all mention it. Jits 2.0 podcast. I'm telling you, we are the new wave.